What is going on, everyone? What is going on? It is Barfy and the Bash Brigade. I have a special guest since the bald bastard is not here this week because what a shock, he's going camping. I got Josh from the Just Josh podcast. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it.
It's so funny.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not artistic and I don't know computers that well, so it's kind of funny to when I do that little stupid shit. I'm like, this looks stupid, and then someone actually says, "Hey, it looks pretty cool." I'm like, "Yay!"
Wait, are you bald? Are you the bald one with the beard? Or I was trying to tell who was who.
Oh no,
I was going so fast.
I am not the bald bastard.
I didn't think so.
Yes, yeah, I got a full head of hair.
I knew it. That's what I was saying, but I still couldn't figure out which one. Do you have that again? Can we roll that back?
I can.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know I can pull it back up. I don't care. I'm trying to see if there's a still on here somewhere.
Oh man, you got a little scroller too?
Yeah, man, I got all that stuff for
I need to keep it simple.
So you can't really see.
I need to step my game up.
So if you see behind, you can't see through the light because our cameras are in the way. But there's me right in the middle with a head of hair.
Right, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
you have a nice head of hair. Why are you hiding it?
Well, it's actually just because of the headphones. It's the only reason why.
Oh, that makes sense.
I got these big, like I don't have those pretty those little in-ears that you have. I got rid of mine a long time ago.
You want to hear a secret? And I would never say this on my podcast because like people have complimented them so much. I just let them compliment them and think that they're really nice in-ears. I'm pretty sure these were like $24 on Amazon. And they work amazing. See that, and I've been looking at them because they're getting cheaper. I mean, I remember back in the day when I was playing, man, them things were $200 for the cheap side. And well, they still are, but I'm not a touring musician. Like these, I would never use these if I was playing on stage or if we were doing something like on the road or even to record. Probably, I would probably put my beats on before I would even use this, just so I could hear better. But as far as just doing a podcast and talking to people. This works great. I'm going to have to start doing that because these things are a pain in the ass. Yeah. I will spend a lot of money when it's worth spending the money. I just bought the Shure mics and the Fender behind me was like my dream guitar. So I spent a good amount of money on that as well. But when I got the bass to record, I only spent like $270 or like $300 or something like that after taxes. Nice. Just to have some, and it's nice. I mean, I love Ibanez, one of my favorite companies. So for basses, I will agree with Ibanez. I love Ibanez. I love Washburns. Guitar wise, I am a big PRS fan. Everyone is, and what sucks is that I love them because they're in Maryland, and I love their product. I think it's top notch. But I also think there's a lot of people that have PRSs now. And I've always just loved, I have a tattoo of a Fender. I'm biased. So I say this from a biased standpoint. Oh, I don't blame you. It's just from when I was a kid. Now, I don't know why, but I feel like the Ibanez guitar still even has, it's just easy to play the neck for some reason. It has a real easy neck to play. Yeah, they use a wizard neck, I believe. They call it Ibanez? They call it a wizard neck. Oh, okay. Well, both my GX1 or whatever, which is the guitar, and I think the bass is actually like the bass version of the guitar or whatever. Right. But they both play well. Actually, my Fender is kind of thick. I think it's a C neck. Right. So it's a little thicker. Could be wrong about that. But the American one, and it's super heavy too. The American ones are well built. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hand quality shit they got there. I mean, I like Fenders for certain tones. If I'm doing like a beach rock sound, I have a great twang, country. Sure. But it's I don't know. Buddy of mine let me his PRS once to play for a show because mine was in the shop. My guitar was in the shop, and I just fell in love with it. It was custom 24. It was a 90s version, so it was still hand built, and it played like a dream. And ever since then, I've had a hard on for them. Ibanez's were great because when Korn first came out and that heavy tone, and you're just seeing them rocking them 7-string Ibanez's, you're like, holy shit, I need that. Mom, buy me this piece of, Yeah. And it's awesome. So tell us about your podcast. We're networking here. So tell us about your podcast. Yeah, sure. So really, I didn't do one for a very long time because I knew a lot of people that had one. And I was trying to wait till I could figure out something that was not just another music podcast or not just because then I wouldn't and still people don't listen to it, but still, like, you know, at least I'm working towards something that is unique in the sense of that I try to get a lot of my musician friends that I've met through tour or just through the industry or as a fan to come on. And really the main reason has turned into trying to raise money for crews. We have a crew fund up, which is really important because I probably didn't realize until I actually worked behind the scenes how hard it is to tour and how many sleepless nights you get and how much effort goes into like a 2 or 3 hour show. So from that respect, I'm lucky when COVID hit because I have degrees, but obviously like everyone else, it hit me hard as well, you know? So it's like, you're not making money. You have to try and find things. You're trying to be careful too. So the podcast really stemmed out of that and where it grew. And what I started to say was that I waited for so many years. Like I probably would have started it 5 or more years ago, but it's only been around for about 2 now. But I would have started a long time ago if I didn't know so many or felt like I had, you know, and it's been a process too, but I think I've gone from, it's really weird how far we've come in such a little time, but we're still not even close to being where I want it to be. But what separates us is I have musicians on, but I try to talk about everything but music.
Yes.
So that was that whole random ass ramble I just went on. Well, it was to get to, I should have just said that. That would have been like the best thing to say.
You're right though.
We talk about aliens, you know, food, you know, pop culture, anything. It's hard though. It is really hard to do because I will lose some guests. Like if I go into a topic that they're not that interested to, and especially when it's over Zoom, you know, it can happen. But you remember that and you work towards, you know, making the content better and stuff like that, you know?
Do they do the fake freeze where they just sit there and just go?
No, but I don't think I've had anyone do that to me yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone came out and said, "Oh, I totally did that to you." And I just walked away for, you know, the hour and you just talk to yourself.
So did the Jimmy Haha episode happen yet from Jimmy's Chicken Shack?
Yeah, I shouldn't admit this, but like, since this is just me doing it. So the editing isn't the best, you know, I'm sure there are certain episodes where the audio isn't the best because something goes wrong with certain equipment or something. And, you know, I don't care. I like the mistakes too, because I think down the road you look back and you say, oh man, remember how hard that was and where we are now. So I do love the journey. I just wish I had a little help with the journey, you know? Right. But yeah, so to answer your question, I have about 8 podcast episodes that I've done with some great guests. Joe Sambo, Vanilla, Jimmy's Chicken Shack. He's one of my favorite rock bands of all time.
Love Jimmy's Chicken Shack.
And he surprised me and he brought on I think it's Jummer. Yeah. That does a lot of the recording, producing. And so I feel so horrible, but he kind of threw me off guard because I thought it was just me and Jimmy. And then he brought him on and then they actually would have had the guitarist come on as well, because he was coming in an hour, but that was to finish the recording. So I actually didn't get as much time, and I just started at Under Armour corporate. So that's why I have this set up over here, and then I have my podcast stuff over here. And I just have not had the time or energy to do it. And I kind of got to a point too where I was inviting these people on and spending a lot of time. And this isn't at anyone that's come on the podcast. I'm just saying, like, it's my fault because for some reason I cannot figure out what's wrong with Zoom to where if more than one person's talking, whoever's the dominant, loudest voice, which is usually me, because I'm in studio, direct in and right up against the microphone. So if you're sitting there on your phone and it's like sitting on the table and you're just talking to your phone, or you don't have a headset or in ears, or even when you do sometimes, if I start talking, it cuts out the other person. And so I see yours is working great. And sometimes it works great. You know, It just depends on the equipment and like what's going on. And again, if I just had a producer, someone that was monitoring it while it was going on or knew more about it than I did to make it, I like consistency. And the one thing I hate is that it's not always consistent because it's just me. So I'm learning how to edit. I'm learning how to produce. I'm learning how to do all this stuff. I mean, when I started the podcast, I'd never done video edit. I'd never done any of this stuff, you know, before. And it was a lot of YouTube videos like we talked about before and learning and mistakes. And that's how it should be. I see a lot of people, they always want handouts, or they always want like the knowledge without putting in some of the work, or at least showing that you deserve the knowledge. So I don't mind. And I'm very creative, and I love learning. I honestly do. It's so funny. Like, it's not that I hated school, but I had ADHD. So it's not just concentration. It's also like that, maybe you're doing too many things, or you're concentrating too much on one thing and not spreading your time out. But it also, a whole bunch of other stuff that I feel like goes into that too. But so it was hard for me when I wasn't able to be shown a process or be shown something. And the college that I went to, they cared more about like, you're a number to them. They didn't really care about like, I could go into this whole story, but like, I love learning now that I'm older, and I actually look up like community classes are free to just walk in and like go in. Sometimes I'll do that. Not recently, obviously, with COVID and all that stuff. But I told something else really quick that before, when I was saying, what the podcast is about is that crew fund, that's kind of where we're at, is that trying to get bigger guests on. Before, I kind of went from like where it was like, I wanted to showcase some of my favorite up and coming bands or smaller local bands. But we're trying to raise a lot of money for them because, even with the fall coming and cases rising, who knows what's going to happen to tour.
That's what I'm
I feel like
about.
It was the one industry that got left behind. And, I just feel so much for them. And what sucks is that because I'm not a big presence, I know it's not going to make a lot of money. And even it's probably even hard for me to get some of my friends to do it just because of the economy, and everyone's suffering too. But, and I get it. Look, I'm not naive to think that name doesn't have clout, or like, if you're a big name, it's easier for you to get those guests because you add value or worth to what they do also.
Right.
I don't add value to anyone's podcast, or them coming on my podcast does not add any value.
Oh, exactly.
But I'm hoping that they would see that it's for a good cause. I tried to do it with the GoFundMe because it's public and it shows everything, and you can like put your band, like what band you want the money donated to. So if there's a specific band that you want, we'll make sure that it gets to that band. But, I don't know. So that's kind of what that's about. That was so random, man. That was so random. I went in circles there.
We do it all the time. This podcast is literally the Seinfeld of podcasts. It's a show about nothing.
I apologize for making your podcast worse.
Your
ratings are going to go down.
What, from 7 people to 6? No.
I mean, probably to nothing after mine.
You're good, man. But so I'm right in the same boat. So I'm trying to, I get my problem is, and I don't know how to, I don't want to be aggressive. So there's certain bands that we mutually know that like, they're like, yeah, sure, we'll come on. I'm like, all right, let me know what's free for you. And I don't want to pester anybody. Any guests that say, yeah, I'll come on. It's kind of like, hey, when are you free? Kind of is how how we've been shooting the breeze for the past week. Like, hey, when are you free? When am I free? All right, we'll do it then. Because I don't want to, this is a show about nothing. It's just a bunch of guys, dick and fart jokes all day long. But so I feel you on that. And you know what? I have fun. At the end of the day, I have fun doing it. So it doesn't bother me as much because I have fun doing it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely a passion. But I'm more relaxed on here because I'm not worrying about 5 different things shutting off at the same time. So I love coming on other people's podcasts.
Oh, it's great because I'm sitting
here. It's a lot more fun.
I'm like looking around and everything, making sure levels are good, the meter's popping, everything, everything sounds right.
Yeah, it's nice to be on this side of the screen. Normally, I'm on that side of the screen.
hey, man! I like doing it. I went to when I was in high school. I was the light and sound guy through the theater stuff, and
that's cool.
So I'm used to sitting here going, "All right, they're doing this scene. Move over here to shadow tapping. Just all right, we got this." So
the 7 people that listen to the podcast, if you guys want to come work it for me, let me know.
Hey, look, I say, we can work together. There we go. I'm back.
Dude, yes, I'm always down, man, especially if you know more about this stuff than I do.
It's all about helping each other out. It's making a team.
Or
grow.
not even knowing more, just like an extra set of hands is always just as valuable.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Even if it's remote.
I was having a problem and I couldn't figure it out, and I actually called someone.
We could even save money just by splitting the monthly for StreamYard, and then just anytime we need to use it, we both have the login. Oh, yeah. So then we would just come on. We'd have to plan, I guess.
So the codex is under the Barfy and the Bachelor Brigade socials, But we'll figure something out. I'm always.
I just need to record it. Are we live right now? You told me we weren't going live.
We're not live.
Oh, it says live 1704. Yeah. Is that just how they say it's recorded?
It's just a ticker, right? This is all ticker. You're good. Don't worry, because otherwise there would be at least it will tell you in the corner here how many people are watching. Not a
someone told me I should go live because then the guests are more on their game. Do you think that's true?
Oh yeah.
I would hope that guests would be the same no matter what. Well, because I think coming in studio is the most fun just because we have a cool setup here. But
right, I mean, we have a casting couch. We call it the casting couch just because it's just a black couch. And
well, that's what I had, and that's exactly what everyone called it.
I literally
that's why I got rid of it.
That's why that's kind of why I did it. I saw you doing it. I'm like, you know what? That's a really good idea. I'm stealing that. I stole it from you, so.
That's cool. You can have it. I upgraded to like 2 separate nice loungers, not loungers, but I did pick a bad color. It's like almost white. It's like an off white, but a nice one.
There you go.
I'll send you a picture and you can overlay it when you edit.
I'll just I'll green screen it over.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, man. It's fun. I mean, there's a fun part about it. Luckily we're not live, so I can edit that clip out, but it's fun. So here's a question for you. I'm going to change gears here because we just talked 20 minutes about fuck knows what.
I'm going to give you a lot of content, or at least waste a lot of your time.
Excellent, sir. I like the way you're thinking. I mean, I can go take some edibles and we can really have some fun. But
oh my goodness.
I ask all the guests this. These I guess you want to call it 3 questions, but 1, Batman versus Superman, not the movie in general. You can pick whichever Batman, whichever Superman. Who you're rooting for.
Oh, who am I rooting for as far as like, man, I thought you were going to say who would win in a fight, and I was going to go straight to Superman.
Oh, there you go. You already answered it. I'm pro Superman, so you already answered that question.
I don't even get to clarify.
No, you can't. Clarify.
But I guess if you're saying who am I rooting for, I always root for the underdog, and I know that Superman would crush Batman in real life if he really wanted to.
Right.
Just my opinion. He's superhuman. Everyone's like, well, Batman's smarter. I'm like, no, he's not.
No,
he's just rich. There's a difference.
Right. You know, the things
Superman all the way.
The things that Batman does, he gets away with because he's rich. If he was a blue collar guy, he'd be arrested for a lot of weird shit.
That's true. I forget what movie it was like. He's like, do you really wear a bat suit? Actually, was that, or maybe it was TV.
Well, no, I
can't remember. Which movie?
In the first
Justice League. Oh, that's what it is. Like, you really wear a bat suit? Yeah.
Like, dress like a bat. You know.
That's what I think when I see Batman, like Superman all the way.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, speaking of Superman, have you seen Superman and Lois?
Yes, I just watched the season finale.
Good.
I just watched the season finale before.
Well, aren't there 2 more episodes?
I hope so.
Am I missing something?
I thought I don't know. They keep taking forever. The last episode recorded was it just recorded the other night. I forget what day it is.
I could be wrong.
No, it is.
Could have been. I'd be very upset if that was it.
The way they ended it, yeah, I'd be pissed.
So I first saw that guy on, I guess I was watching so the only reason I was watching the Supergirl stuff, and it's not that it's bad, it's just wasn't my thing. It's a CW, show. So it's geared towards certain audiences. But I always thought Green Arrow was good. And then I thought The Flash was really good. Certain parts of it. But what I liked the most was, I love when they did the crossovers.
Oh, Crisis of Infinite Earth? Infinite Earth was amazing.
So I know it's TV budget and it's different than doing the things, but as far as like, let's say the DC movies that have come out and they've been trying to chase Marvel, I would say the TV DC is obviously not on Marvel's level as far as what they're doing now, but as far as cohesiveness and then making it all nice where like there's different stories within each thing, but then they can come together. Dude, they did it perfectly. And I just loved the one episode. And I think you probably know this one where they brought back all the different like, Supermans and, people that played them in the movies. They had Ezra Miller. Is that his name? Ezra Miller or something?
Ezra Miller was in one.
What's the guy? Satan. Who plays Satan? They had him in there.
Yeah, because off of Constantine.
From the TV show.
Yeah, he played Luke from Lucifer.
Yeah,
which was a branch from Constantine. They had the voice, the guy who played Batman in the Batman the animated series as a fucked up Batman.
Yeah. They had everyone.
They originally were
we're missing people. There was it was all-star
Right.
Tom Welling from Smallville. That was one of my favorite shows.
That pissed me off that his part was, I don't have my powers anymore. That pissed me off. I was like, what bullshit is that?
That was another CW show when we were younger.
Yes, it was. Yeah. I loved watching it. I mean,
I got to see the original. I guess we had the original Gossip Girls, and they're doing a lot of remakes from like stuff we had when we were younger.
Yeah, because that's where they made money.
Not that I watched Gossip Girls, but it was on there. You know, like all those shows were like pop culture, and they were good. What's her name? I had a huge crush on her when she did Weeds too, right? Did she go from Gilmore Girls to Weeds? When I was in college, or is that? Am I thinking of a different woman?
I don't know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Erica Durant, the guy who played the role to play Lois Lane?
She's in like Mighty Ducks, the TV series now too. I forget her name.
I don't know.
This isn't my podcast, so I'm not doing the research.
That's fine. I'm not doing it right now.
I'm just kidding.
No, but
that came off so mean. But I just, I was
good.
Just
No,
like, I should just look it up.
Man, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. There's what is it? So, but Michael Keaton was actually scripted to come into the Crisis of Infinite Earths, but then they decided to put him in the Flash movie. He agreed to do the Flash movie, which is why they went the other route. And that's why I like that Brandon Routh was also, he played the disgruntled Superman in Crisis Infinite Earths, because it's like, you know what? Brandon Routh got a bad rap for that Superman. All he did was trying to piggyback, because they tried to contain the storyline from when Christopher Reeves, rest in peace, comes back. Yeah. That's all he was doing. He wasn't trying to make Superman a new person. He was just trying to play Christopher Reeves, Clark Kent, the quirkiness, the nerdiness, the good boy thing. And so now getting older, watching it back, I'm going, that's a good job. He did a real good job, even though at the time I was going, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
nostalgia.
Favorite.
That's why I think I spend so much money now, is just nostalgia shit.
Yeah, I wish I could. Yeah. I unfortunately invested too much money into 311. So, favorite Joker.
Definitely old school Jack Nicholson, probably. He would have to be. Maybe that's just showing how old I am. I'm closer to 40 than 30 by far. I'm
closer to 40 than 30 myself. So, but I mean, I'm going to say, if you're going to go live action Jack, if you're going to go all across the board, I'm going Mark Hamill.
When did Mark Hamill do the Joker?
Batman, the animated series.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
I was only thinking movies. Movies, not all time. And you're bringing everything into it, yeah.
Yeah, and he did a lot of the animated movies also.
Yeah.
So, but those are the main questions we always ask on the podcast is with new guests: is Superman versus Batman, who would win, or who do you favor, and who's the favorite Joker? Really glad that you. You literally
picked a good one.
You picked the same answers I do. Everyone else picks, whatever his name.
Whoever's the newest, or what they grew up on. Or
Heath Ledger was cool, man. I liked Heath Ledger. He did it the best. I'm like, fucking Jack.
He was great, but like, if you're talking about what sticks out in my mind and which one I thought was like, Heath Ledger did a good job, but like it's like the technology and the movies are so different. This was like back when like they really didn't have much, and like Jack Nicholson creeped the fuck out of me, dude. Hey, he was such a good Joker.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
He's got a naturally huge smile,
right?
He didn't have to wear makeup or have the makeup make his smile look bigger. Like that was his fucking smile.
What was cool was when they did pinch his like, I saw like a making of when they put the prosthetic cheekbones in to make him look, he's always smiling. Even when he's smiling, when he's not smiling, he still has that smile on, and he gets angry, and I'm like, you're right. It creeps you the fuck out. I'm like, God, that's genius. That was 1989. So figure they made it in 87, 88.
It's crazy. Yep.
So I'm glad
What's the last question?
That was it. It was those two.
I thought you said three.
I said 2 or 3. I couldn't remember. We always had the same arguments.
I had something else I was going to wait to say because I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I do it all the time.
I forgot it. I forgot it. I'm too high.
Well, you lucky bastard.
I keep wanting to call it Moby's Dick, but it's not. It's called Moby Dick. And that was it's intense, man.
You're
I'm
handling
too
yourself
old for
well.
this. I'm too old for this strong weed, dude. I need some of that OG stuff at like 14% or less, or like 12%. Like they're doing like 25, 30% weed.
Yeah, see, I
can't do it anymore.
I do the edibles, and that shit's just.
How do you do that? They're so expensive. And aren't you closer to DC? Or aren't you in DC?
I'm in Jersey.
Oh, are you?
I'm Jersey.
Were you ever in DC or no?
No.
I'm mixing you up with someone else as well then.
Yeah.
Do you do comedy?
I'm funny looking.
Did you do comedy?
No. I met you at the Sublime with Rome show, Sublime with Rome Ballyhoo at the TLA on South Street.
No, I remember that, but I thought you also like did something else, but it was a different, because Barf always reminded me, maybe I know two Barfs. That's your last name?
Well, it's my stage name / nickname.
Well, that's everything you have online, right?
Yeah. Just because in case someone tries to find me on for a job, they can't.
I'm gonna have to go figure this out. I know who you are, and I know where we met, and I know that's how we know each other. But I also thought you did this. But what I'm thinking is that I'm putting someone else's life into your life.
Hopefully, they have a better life than me. I'll be.
No, dude, you have a great life, dude. Like, you got a nice podcast with these cool Thunderbolts. Now I got to change my my logo because mine is Thunderbolts as well.
Oh no, I mean, yours is all nice and pretty though. You have the soundboard, the sound absorbers around your kit that has the Just Josh podcast on it.
No, what's funny is that I change up the logo every season. That's why I do seasons. Oh. So I change it up every season. I thought that would also make it unique. Now it could annoy people and like, why does he keep changing his logo? Why does he keep changing his logo? Can he make up his mind?
I'm not.
No, it's just fun. Like it's. I have ADD, so like ADHD. Like I like things to be fresh. You know, like I like to switch it up. It's fun. It's unique.
I know it's
like a TV show. That's why I do seasons as opposed to like a podcast where people are like, oh man, podcast number 500. Like, good for you, buddy.
Right. Well, so I do seasons. Like this is starting season 3, but it's actually like we just did a full year. Now we're on our second year. But we started off as Barfy and the Bald Bastard, and then we added Monahan and made it the Bastard Brigade, and then we added Kaylee on, not as just from aside.
Where's everyone else?
They're working. Well, the Bald Bastard's got 5 kids, and so he's out camping.
Kids are an excuse. I hate when people say kids.
He's got
Fuck kids.
He's got 5 of them.
Totally kidding.
No
one out there thought I was serious.
I hate kids, so I hate children, so it's fine.
I was trying to be extreme on your podcast. So
you can be extreme.
Clickbait.
No, yeah, please do. Just Josh says, fuck kids. And
I don't use enough sound effects.
I'm actually being gentle in sound effects. Usually with when the Bald Bastard's here, there's a lot of like, you know,
you suck dicks
and or just a typical little, you know,
is that a fart explosion?
Yes, it's a fart reverb.
Oh my God. That is a good one. And then I could never use it on my podcast, but that's a good one.
And then you've got the usually when there's a good funny bit and we're trying to get out of it, I always do like a quick little segue of.
I should do that if someone's going on really long. Like, you know how they cut people off at the award ceremonies?
Oh, yeah.
I should just start doing that. Like because I don't have a producer that in our ears could be like, okay, let's move on to the next topic or something like that in a polite way.
Oh yeah.
Like anything I say to a guest, they're like, who are you? Nobody. I'm not going to do what you say. You know, like I don't want to offend anyone, but I do want to make it the best. But yeah,
here's another one for you.
I don't even know what.
Here's another one you could use. It says when they're talking too much and rambling and you want them to stop, you just do the. Ooh, nobody gives a shit. And usually it's a good sign that
I want the guests to come back. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I try to find a good balance of being funny but not offending them. But I really, in my head, if I could really make the podcast how I want it, it would be offensive as fuck. I would say everything I ever thought about anything.
Yeah, I did that, and then that's why I got Kaylee, because Kaylee, the boobed bastard, she'll send me messages.
I've been trying to get a chick co-host to come in at least like once a month or something like that and shoot the shit and get another perspective. So that's kind of cool that you get to have that female in here too. She probably acts like a dude anyway. Right?
Nah, she's very, very female, but she's also
she loves the fart jokes.
No, she loves them. You know,
I've asked like 4 different female friends to be my co-host, and I don't mind having like rotating co-hosts just to switch things up. You know, I just don't. I think me solo would be boring,
right?
But to a degree, like I would be into it because I'm talking about shit I want to talk about,
right?
But like, I don't know how many other people would be into what I'm talking about. So
I can't.
You do have to try and make it something that people at least want to listen to. You know.
Right. I'm not the type of person. I can't just react on my own. I can't sit here. I mean, I could sit here and stare at the screen and make a couple of jokes, and it's going to last about 15 minutes. But once I got my buddy involved and you know, I get someone else and I can feed off their thing. You say something funny out, you know, you say something that reminds me of a movie quote, or I can sit there and make a stupid little, you know, a fart quip, or, you know,
that's bullshit.
Something of that nature to just, and then it
You're
makes
really
it
into farts, aren't you?
He is. I mean,
okay.
If as we always say, when farting stops being funny, put me out to pasture.
I mean, that's very true. I don't like being farted on.
Well, nobody likes,
but like the sound is funny.
It's funny, and it's a good way to segue. Or
let me see if I have any farts on mine. No, I don't have any farts on mine.
You gotta upload these. You gotta, you know, or when things get a little raunchy, a little risque, you got a little bit of a.
I'm about to bust,
and yeah.
So I haven't changed those pads on mine since the December Christmas special I did with Lindsay, where she was talking about like pegging dudes and stuff like that. She's like, I can't find a guy that'll let me peg him. And I'm like, yeah, because you keep trying to fuck straight dudes. Like,
there's some freaky people out there that wouldn't mind.
No, of course. But I would say her odds of finding someone go down as opposed to if she was like with someone else that was like into that stuff, you know?
Yeah, there's a website called FetLife.
She's trying to convert guys that don't like it to like it instead of trying to find the guys that like it. Does that make sense?
Right. She's got to find herself a very effeminate male.
I don't know. I've always been straight, and I respect everyone's sexual preferences.
Not there's anything wrong with it. Right?
I don't care. I don't care what anyone does. I'm old enough to know there's so many like different weird shit that go, especially with the internet now. Like,
it's out of control.
It does scare me because like I can't imagine growing up in the internet world today. You know, like I think I would be crazy. I probably would be. I don't know, dude. Like I don't think I would be normal.
I'm already a sexual deviant. I don't need the internet's already like I was a pig before the internet, so
that's funny.
But
I've never paid money at a strip club. I've gone to strip clubs, never paid money at one. And not because I'm cheap and didn't pay anything. It's just, it's such a waste of money. And as like, same with alcohol, like, don't get me wrong, I drink, but I don't drink that often.
Right.
And also because like, you know, my body can't handle it. I have the body of a 60-year-old, you know, it's like if I have 2 Bud Lights and a shot of Jack, I'm like out for 3 days after recovering.
Pedialyte,
you know?
my friend.
I know, and I do all that stuff, you know, it's just, I don't know.
Hey, I mean, luckily,
to me, even if I didn't have the hangover, it wouldn't be worth it because it's such a short-term thing.
Right.
You can easily go, like, I always spend anywhere from $60 to $100 every time I go to a bar or every time I go out for the night, if not more. Because that's how much, that's how much it costs. I mean, if you grab a meal or you buy even like the other day, the last couple of times I've gone out by accident, like the first one was like dollar beers and I was expecting to be all these college kids and stuff, but it wasn't really that packed. But I guess because of like people are still kind of like iffy, but I'm like, it's dollar beers. I'm surprised people weren't out here. When I asked him my total, he's like, oh, dude, you didn't even spend $10. You guys spent over $10, use a credit card. I'm like, oh shit, how many? So then I just ordered a whole bunch like of shots for everyone that I was with, not the bar.
Oh, wow.
And then, you know, we all got another round just to make it. And then I tipped my buddy, you know, a proper amount. And it was up to like 70 or 100 on dollar beer night, you know? But it's such a short-term thing. Like people are like, oh man, you have all this nice stuff or you do this or that. I'm like, well, yeah, it's because I save my money. Like I try and save it and spend it on things that I can either resell at some point and pretty much make back my money. I'm not cheap, but like I feel like I'm business savvy in the sense of like anything I buy, I always keep the boxes in nice condition and keep the stuff I use in very nice condition so that I can actually see, yeah, I'm not going to make the same amount, but actually I've been very lucky about pretty much making what I paid for it, even though I had used it for a year or two, you know, but that's because I buy nice things that don't lose value also. You know what I mean? Like you could buy chairs at a restaurant and then 3 months they're going to be broken because you have so many people sitting on them, but you can spend $15 a chair, $20 a chair, or you can buy nice stuff that'll last you 5 to 10 years, you know?
Right. Oh no, I agree on that. You got it. You get what you pay for. And if you buy the right thing, it'll last you long enough, and then you can resell it when you're like, I'm done with this. And people won't do their research and go, oh, wait a minute, this is, you know, or it's made out of like good Italian leather, and anything that's Italian leather actually gets better with age.
I also can't make up my mind. I bought all these cymbals. I've been like upgrading my drum set recently in the studio.
I've noticed.
And I had the Rock Crash, the 20-inch Rock Crash came in today, and I was super excited about that. I haven't gotten to play it yet.
Zildjian or Sabian?
Zildjian. Yeah, I have all Zildjian. Actually, I might have one Sabian cymbal, but I just took it off because it cracked. That's why I bought all these. But then I ended up getting a Splash, a Rock Crash, a China, and the China's not exactly what I want. Like, it almost sounds like I'm hitting a pole. Like, I wanted that trashy, longer, sustained, or I want a quick vibrance, and like, I don't want it to sustain like a ride, but like, I wanted that, you know, that
you
kind
want
of sound.
a good wash, right?
Yeah, but it sounds like it's. I don't know why, and I got a smaller one. I didn't get like a 20 or an 18. I'm pretty sure that was a 16-inch China, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe I need to get used to it. I just feel like whatever.
It's also,
I love Zildjian. It's my favorite because they have a good. I always get the mid-range ones. They're right under the A's and the K's or whatever. Well, K's are super expensive, but I think the A's are a little bit less. And then mine's right there. But then they have the really cheap like ZXTs and then the I family and
the
all the other
ZVTs.
brands. Yeah, and all the other stuff. Dude, these, I'm telling you, I think most drummers, if they came and play this, they would say, wow, that sounds just like my A's, but half the cost. You know, like they have great sound, but haven't gotten to go into a store to sit there and hit the things before I buy it. It's all been online. Right. So it sucks because it is hard because you can't just return it either. You know, that's the one thing that you can't. So I have swung and missed, at least for what I'm looking for. And it makes it very, and I even go on and I listen to like all the videos on YouTube with the nice mics in my headset to hear what it sounds like. Right. And it sounded great when I heard it, but then when it's like too short, you know, I need more sustain. Right. But what I figured out is I can take a Trash Crash with the holes in it, like a 10-inch or something like that, turn it upside down, stick it into the dip of the China, and then just tighten it, and then it's almost like a secondary hi-hat or like a stack. It's
a good China Kang. Yeah,
so I might just turn it into that, you know.
So that's what I have.
That would work.
I'm a Sabian guy. I love Sabians, and I mean, I can't afford a hand
they
hammer.
Sound great.
And what I like about them is that they're all, you can get a B8, and you can get a hand hammered, and you could get like the Ozium series, and they all will sound good together because they purposely make them to sonically match no matter what.
Yeah, that's great because that's why I've stuck to this series, because if you start mixing and matching, now that's not always the case, but it's a lot more effort.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool that they do that, where you can pretty much mix and match throughout the series, and it'll be sonically sound good.
Right. So I have two AAX Dark Crashes of 16 and an 18, and I got a 22-inch ride, and unfortunately my freaking hand hammered China broke because I lent it to a buddy. So that's trash.
I never do that. Not cymbals. Lend them your drums, but not your cymbals.
So, but it was doing it for a recording, and he knows, you know, I was like,
I know.
It's one of those, and I watched him hitting, and I'm like, oh, that's going to break. He's hitting too hard in the wrong spot. I'm like, man, you got to play through the cymbal, not play into the cymbal, play through it.
Yeah.
But, so now it's fucked. There's $280 down the drain. Thanks. But
no, Sabian sounds great, man. The one cymbal I have from Sabian, I mean, it's been my all-time favorite cymbal that I've had. I wish I knew what it was called. I'd tell you, but
okay. I was like,
I'll tell you later.
I don't know. You know, there's so many things I know we didn't even touch the iceberg on a lot of things. Like I said, I know you like aliens. I'm all about aliens. I've been sitting here stroking off about the government finally releasing all these UFO files.
Yeah, but it's nothing that I feel like we ever knew. I want to know okay, are we in contact? Is there a galactic federation? Where do we stand within their eyes? Is it humans from the future or is it actual aliens? I want to know facts. I don't want to know all this bullshit. Yes, we don't know what it is. Right. All of us out here, we've known that there's stuff and there's videos. We don't need you telling us that, you know? And wasn't there a lot of redacted shit still in those reports?
Even though they said you can't, none of it needs, everything needs to be unredacted.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Exactly.
But
we're never going to know because the government is just.
There's a new video that just came out today that I just saw. It was an old.
Can we play it or no?
I didn't have it loaded up. I didn't know. Okay. Had I known, we're going to talk about this because now the fact that I know that you're into this shit, I can literally do episodes. I can do pre-production and prep. This is more of a, hey, let's hang out and talk bullshit, have a beer.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But it's a stealth fighter, an old stealth bomber, like the original stealth fighters, and you going against a UFO. And it's an iPhone, and they slowed it down 300 times to go frame by frame to show to you that it's not CGI'd. And dude, that thing was whipping turns. And that UFO was like, nope. Oh
yeah,
just dodging and weaving like Mayweather. Just so
I've said this on my podcast, but I think people think I'm crazy when I say this. So I'll say it on your podcast because I feel more comfortable saying it.
Say it.
But I always feel it's hard to live in society and in this world when I have this really deep, I really believe that humans are made for so much more, and all the petty bullshit that we do every day, whether it be social media, politics, whatever. Sometimes it's hard to live in this world, and not saying that I don't want to live in this world. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yeah, I get anxiety being in front of other people when I see them wasting their lives away, or if I go out to the bar and it's just like the same old, you know, it's just, I want to know more. I want all the knowledge. And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. But you know, I just feel like, and even me, and what sucks is I feel guilty because I get sucked into it because you have to. That's how our society's set up. We have money. And to me, money's so stupid. Let's start bartering again. Can we start bartering again?
You know I've done that.
I have something that's of value to you. You have something of value to me. We don't have to depend on stocks for our retirement. We don't have to hand each other pieces of paper. That means
that has no value to it anyway. No gold backing behind it anyway.
I could go on for hours.
No, trust me. So could I. Which is good to tip the iceberg because,
we could have been at Mars 20 years ago.
Exactly.
If we would have just
they did find
everyone in the world would just band together and just be like, okay, let's get off this. Let's just combine forces.
They did find a 400-foot crashed.
Recently?
Yeah. I didn't, dude. Had I known all this, I would find. It was somewhere on Mars. They found it was 400.
Well, you're gonna edit this. We could always cut it. Let's do a freeze frame. And then come back. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I can't. I suck at video editing. I do everything kind of on the fly. Ah, shit. Kanye West has listening.
So this is basically going to be like we're doing it live because it's basically just going to come out like this.
I'll chop a few things up, but
no, that's okay.
But yeah, I try to keep it as real and live as because see people function and all, and then With
okay, sorry to interrupt you. You said there's a new spaceship that landed.
A 400-foot. It's about 400 feet wide, and it left a 400 or 500 yard trail of a crash landing in Mars.
Were you the one that said they found a whale?
Yes, on Pluto.
A whale?
A whale on Pluto. Now it's
swimming?
No,
Pluto's not even a planet anymore, right?
Well, it's a
How did they found a frozen whale?
Whale on Pluto.
So what they're implying is that Pluto used to have life on it, or it used to be at least have water, or an alien came and picked up a whale and just dropped it off.
Never mind. Wait, what's this? What did we find? Bright side. First photos of
What's
Pluto.
What's the source?
This is YouTube. It's his first photos.
I can't. Oh, I know Brightside. Yeah, that one guy. He used to be the ex-military. Is that him?
Yeah, there's another one I'm watching.
Bright Insight or something like that.
New map.
Travels all around the world.
New map of Pluto reveals a whale and donut. Now it's the Washington Post. I think it has something to do with their spotting.
A whale and donut, like an actual donut from Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme, or like what do they mean by donut?
That's what I'm trying to read real quick here.
Oh, okay, I can fill time.
One side of the equator, the new map gives a closer look. Dark splotch. Ow, man, that's fucking wordplay.
Of course, it's clickbait. That just goes back to my point. I fucking hate that shit, and I will never have all the followers, whatever many followers I have is always going to be organic.
Right.
Because I am not going to play the algorithm game, and I will not do any of that stuff. I should.
It found a dark spot that looks like the shape of a fucking donut. The shape of a whale. I mean,
yeah, that's what you listen. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but when you started talking about whales and donuts on Pluto, I was like, just from what I was taught in grade, like, I feel like that doesn't make sense to me. I would know that. Yeah, but I see where you're going. Yeah, it's clickbait. I hate that shit.
I was pissed.
I hate there's the Unsolved Mysteries channel on YouTube, and it's actually factual and really well done, but it's always clickbait. The picture never shows up in the video, and it pisses me off because I specifically watch some of them because of the picture. It has nothing to do with what's in the video, and then I end up watching the whole video,
and you don't see it. Oh, I see that all the time. That's why I don't even. I should do that for our YouTube page. We should
just put a hot babe up instead of me for the promo, whatever you use for your promo.
Yes,
just the solid, and then people think you have a hot chick on there, and they come on, they see me, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's gonna say Barfy's Tinder date.
Clickbait, but you'll get like 200 views, no problem.
Barfy's Tinder date, and it's like, hi, here with the Just Josh podcast.
Yeah. What the fuck? I'm here for the boobies.
We're always here for the boobies.
I don't want to say that because we can get canceled nowadays. What? You gotta be careful what you say.
Listen,
I'm always a respectful person anyway. I'm not into like degrading anyone anyway. But, if it's in a joking way or if the female's okay with it, because there's a lot, because I hate the double-sidedness of when females are like, oh, well, don't sexualize me. But then they're out there, posting certain pictures. And I'm like, even though you're right and you shouldn't be sexualized because you're sexy or because you're wearing a certain outfit, you also have to know that the respectable guys don't care about that shit. The Correct. Only ones that are going to start commenting and sending you dick pics are the guys that care about that shit.
Right.
And then it's double cycle, like, you're a pig. And they're always something like, do you know how many, I've gotten so many messages, and I'm no Brad Pitt or anything like that, but I'm just saying it happens to guys too.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'll have girls that say inappropriate shit to me, or what's even more nerve-wracking is when you're in a crowded place and like I've had my ass grabbed and stuff and girls take it too far. I'm like, I don't know you. Like, there's no reason you should be grabbing my ass or touching me in any way. And if it was the other way around, you would be super pissed and you would post about it on Facebook.
Right.
I talk about what a pig I was.
Jokingly and on the podcast, I will make dirty jokes, horrible jokes.
Oh yeah. And that's funny.
And for comedic purposes. I would never.
But you don't mean it.
Right. I would, first off, I don't. If and when I've sent a dick pic, it's been, hey, let me see that dick.
Wait, you sent dick pics that for no reason?
No, I only ask. Unless I get a text that says, let me see that dick. No, you can see it in person when you're on your knees looking at it.
I would never send a dick pic, and it has nothing to do with size or wearing anything. It's just that it's like, if you want this dick, come over and look at it.
Right.
I will whip it out. I'm not putting my dick anywhere that it can be taken or stolen or whatever. Like, that's no one's business.
That's
but I'd be happy to show you if you want to come in studio.
There you go. Exactly. You got a pretty tall desk too, so they can get right underneath that, and
Who's to say I haven't had someone under there for the last hour? Can we wrap this up? I'm actually about to finish. if that's possible. You're almost.
Oh my.
Her neck's starting to hurt because we did almost like 30 minutes before we actually went on air. So she's been doing it for a very long time.
Well, you took one of those gas station pills, didn't you?
Oh my goodness. People take the craziest shit.
You got what you got. Deal with it. But
people put all these like really bad health supplements in their bodies, and they post their workout. There's like Instagram, like I see it all. This one girl, oh my God, God bless her heart, but like she started working out for like 6 months, and now suddenly she's like a fitness account and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I hate the ones that are like super fit, but they're just models doing products and stuff. And then just because you got a boob job and you've always been skinny and you did some squats, like now you're suddenly a fitness person. Right. You know, it's just like, come on. But then I see this one girl, and then I realize I'm like, in her mind, she thinks it's really cool, and she's like, I mean, it's overly done. And I don't mean this in a negative way. And if you have a fitness account, or I'm just saying anyone can be a fitness expert these days because of social media.
Right.
Whereas before, we actually used to have fitness experts. You know, every product is bullshit that you see online. You know, everything that people are pumping and promoting is just stupid. They're always like, oh, CrossFit. I'm like, CrossFit is the worst type of, you know, regiment you can do because it's unnatural to the body. Like it does, like, yeah, you might look good, but then when you're in your 50s, you're going to be like broken down. You're going to destroy your kidneys. Are going to be destroyed. You know, it's just, people are so funny. Humans are so funny. And that just goes back to my other thing of just like, we fall into these traps and it's just sucks. But, we started to go into aliens too, but like,
I want to say, if we're going to do aliens, I want to do it right. I want,
full
focused, full time.
I'm focused.
I know. Well, I mean, I don't know how much time, but I
might just steal this and release this as my episode.
I mean, you can if you want to.
I'm just gonna put my logo over yours. It already has the Thunderbolt. So I mean,
can you?
They won't know. I'm like, yeah, and then I'll edit like when you're talking at the beginning. I'll just edit my voice over yours, like. Welcome to the Just Josh podcast.
You make it like one of those old, those horrible overdub movies, and just, you know. But I will say, so obviously, I want to have you back on another time. We have a lot to talk about. Fine, good thing I have someone I can talk about this weird stuff with. Not weird to me, but weird to other people. But so, what is your at the Just Josh? Spotify, Apple Podcast,
on Instagram and social media stuff like Twitter and all that. It's like J2_podcast, Just Josh, obviously. So it's short for that. Really anywhere, if you're trying to find me, if you type in for Apple, Spotify, what's the other one? How do I not know my own socials?
I got 8 different spots that this show's on, so.
Oh yeah. What is it? What is it called? Are you playing me out? Are you doing one of those like Academy Award things or playing me out when I'm trying to Dude, I'm high. I'm trying to remember my socials. But if you search for me on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all that stuff, just type in the Just Josh podcast and you'll find me. And I have a lot of great guests and stuff. And you got to come on and chat with me on mine sometime.
Oh, definitely. Listen, man, you're not that far away. You're down in what, Baltimore?
Yeah. Where are you? You're up in Jersey?
I'm in New Jersey. I'm 20 minutes from Philadelphia in Jersey.
I mean, yeah, if you want to come make that drive, you're always welcome.
Listen, I drive further for beer. Don't you worry.
Really?
Oh yeah, I go up to Maine. I go up to Boston.
Are we ending this right now?
Yeah, it's a good spot to end it.
Okay. Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm sick of it.
No. I do things for editing and time purposes.
Kidding. Yeah. So, no, of course. No one wants to listen to people talk for more than an hour.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Thank you very much, brother, for coming out. Check the Just Josh podcast on Apple, Spotify. He's on all those same sites as we are. And he will be back on. I will make him come back on. And we'll definitely have a lot more fun. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out, man.
Dude, thank you so much for having me, man.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, be safe. We'll see you guys next time.